Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Delphi for those who are just coming in. It's a pretty exciting time for us here at Indiana Packers with the kickoff of our ERP project. Obviously, it's going to be a long journey for us, 75 weeks as we work through the process, but it's going to be very exciting from the standpoint that once we get to the other end, we'll have a truly unified system, one place to get all of our information, streamline the processes. It was obviously going to be a great journey for us. More importantly, it looks to the future of what Indiana Packers will become and have the ability to become. It shows the commitment that our shareholders have in Indiana Packers, not only from a monetary investment, but also from a commitment of time. And for those, we're truly thankful and appreciate that support. Again, we're looking forward to this journey and more importantly, what we'll look like once we progress through it. With that, I'll turn it over and allow Curtis to take it from here.
Thank you, Russ. Our kickoff meeting agenda, again, Russ, we're going to, our CNA Technology Core, we're going to go over some of our SAP impacts, best practice approaches, governance, implementation schedule, some milestones, examples of our Fiori. If you haven't seen it yet, you'll be able to see that. And then just some feedback and contact information. So we want to welcome Kat, who is our main implementation partners here, as well as Plant Moran, Joe and Colin, and then our MIC Business Solutions. So there's been a lot of comments and questions about the systems that are staying as well as the systems that are going. This, by all means, isn't all of them, but it's a good representation. But the four kites, e-maintenance, UKG, the IBM, Maximo, and Maximus, and then the SAP Concur are all systems that we are going to keep and build some integrations to. What are we sunsetting? M3. I can hear the roar over the TV already. Canopy, Clio, Sterling, the AS400, IPC, Sage, and Datex. And I think there's one or two other accounting functions there that we will probably be sunsetting as well as we get into more in depth of what SAP capabilities are. So our integrated systems, we're bringing on SAP, warehouse, transportation, yard management, which is going to be a big key for us. That's one thing that's been asked of quite a bit, is to bring on yard management. And some of the demos that we've seen have been really nice in 3D. And then we've also sent some people out to Philadelphia for some extensive training and have brought back some really good knowledge on that. We have a system called MII, a manufacturing integration. And what that does is when we lose internet connectivity, we're still able to run the production floor. And then if we lose power, we lose power. But if we lose internet connectivity, we haven't determined how long we're going to try to maintain, whether that we're going to try to do a 24-hour maintain or 12-hour, but that is one system that we have. We have some additional software to help with our sales and our accounting, with the promotions, feedback, or bill backs and stuff like that. And then the big one is fish and meat. That's going to be our operational floor piece. It's going to be the one that's driving all of our labeling and driving all of our production orders and driving all of our scheduling. And then another really neat one is embedded analytics. They have a lot of neat features there to where if you're wanting to find out, how much of a certain item that you've made over the last 6 months, you can go pull that item up and actually hit a graph button on there and it'll pop up and show you everything. It's a pretty good thing. And then we're also going to be switching our EDI service at that time. We're going to be moving over to True Commerce, who is a better partner with SAP, better partner with our partners as well, and has that mapped up throughout that session. So what's our expectations? We're going to streamline our business. We're going to have improved decision-making just based off of having improved data, more granular data to our system to be able to monitor and do analytics on that. Remove duplication of data entry. Big heads up for Holland. I know you guys are probably tired of that already. Increase consistency. Reduction of paperwork. I mean, we can get to paper free, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that on day one, just because of habits, but definitely we can work towards our paper free. Clearly defined job roles with system authorizations. So every level and every position will have a set system and set authorizations that you can go into the system and do your job, but can't go in and look at other things. Generate cost savings on overhead, automate monitoring, reports, production, and then just more efficient and effective planning and scheduling of our process to try to improve our efficiencies and lower our cost to produce of goods. So with that, I'm going to introduce Jeff. He is our project manager on the CAT side with our main consultant group. And Jeff, go ahead.
How do you work this? Just that one. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. So for this project, what we want to do is we've got a few guiding principles that we're going to follow. The first one is we're using best business practice. And what does that mean? That means we're using a pre-configured SAP Meet solution out of the box that's already set up and ready to go. We're going to also leverage the design authority. What is that? The design authority will be part of the escalation and the PMO and will approve and disapprove all key design decisions. Our governance process, so we'll go through that a little bit later, but that's how we're going to escalate. And when the business has any changes or anything that they want to do different, that's how we'll follow that process. Another guiding principle is it's business owned. This isn't an IT project. This isn't, we're just slamming this in. This is business owned. We're going to work with the business and they're going to help drive all of the decisions. Clear and concise communication. Everything's going to be transparent. We're going to keep you informed and keep you up to date on how things are going. We're going to be very transparent with everything. So openness and honesty. So if something's not going right or the business decision isn't going to work or we need to change something or go a different path, we will let everyone know. Oh no, it's not working, Curtis. Oh, there we go. Okay. So what is best business practice? So it's, again, like I just said, it's a pre-configured SAP system that we're going to have about a 90% adoption rate. What that means is we're assuming that based off of it being pre-configured and coming, pre-built, that we're going to leverage those business processes about 90% of the time. So that means if there's a specialized process or something that really is, where it's a competitive edge for your business, then we'll look at that and we'll make adjustments and things like that accordingly. Because we're buying a best business practice system and everything's pre-configured, there's really not a lot of need for changes. So rather than taking the typical approach, which is doing requirements gathering and things like that, we're going to look at the system from why can't this work? Why won't this work for our business? Why can't we use this process, for example, for standard sales order processing or manufacturing and things like that? This will also standardize business processes across all of the business units. So where now you might have independent processes based on locations, this is going to standardize that across all sites. And so everybody will be talking and running the business the same way. We'll also have standardized reporting and analytics with Fiori user experience. So as Curtis just mentioned earlier, with Fiori, you have tiles and we have embedded analytics so we can do reporting right out of the box, real-time live reporting. It also means we have a system. Typically, you have to wait till later in the project to be able to see and leverage a system. Now we have one that's going to be that'll be ready. It's actually already ready. So now that means that the users can get in and they can leverage and see the system, look at Fiori. We can walk through business processes, things like that earlier rather than later. So what is best business practices? So really what the idea behind it is, what is the benefits of the best business practice? We reduce costs by operating by using a standardized process. We manage multiple geographies and we drive operational efficiencies and comply with regulations. Fit to standards, so that just means, again, we're leveraging the system, and we're going to try to figure out why it doesn't work, not try to make the system fit what the current business process is. The advantages of it, you have with it going in SAP Cloud, we can update and upgrade quicker and faster. We can have mergers and acquisitions. We can bring them online a lot quicker. And so we've covered that. So here's another view and look at what best business practice is. So we're leveraging an accelerator for the meat and fish industry. So that means that it has catch weight, it has all the bells and whistles that's been proven and used by SAP before. All right. So here's our governance model. So we have our guiding principles, which we've already talked about. Here's our escalation process. Business is going to identify any issues or concerns with anything. If a process doesn't fit their needs, they'll escalate it. We'll then go through the design authority, which is also going to be called the DA. Then if the design authority can't resolve it, then it'll go to the project management office. After that, if the PMO can't solve the problem and rectify the escalation, PMO and the VPs for that specific area will then get involved. If that doesn't work, then we'll go to the steering committee. And then underneath that sits the best business practice guiding principle. The organization, management, and information system all flow in to help with this escalation process. Here's our timeline. So I'm not gonna dive into it here. This next slide, we'll get more into it. So here we have milestone and activities. So we've got the discover, prepare, and explore phase. We've got realize phase 1 and realize phase 2, and then deploy. So on the discover side, we're gonna start looking at master data cleansing and harmonization. We'll look at doing a detailed project plan. We want to start doing some EDI prep and reviewing mapping rules and things like that. And then we're going to start bringing on our consultants and other folks that are going to start helping us. On December 18th, we'll start the prepare phase. That's really we're going to continue looking at master data. There's going to be a lot of effort and a lot of work that's going to have to drive the master data portion of this. And as Curtis said earlier, we're going to have to look at all the sites and start harmonizing the data between sites. So that means where we have different customers at each site, and we want to go to one, or payment terms or vendors, things like that, or even materials. The business has to do the legwork to be able to harmonize and get those all unique. We'll continue the EDI prep. Now we're looking at system preparation. So now we can start working in the system, start using it, start showing it to people. We can also start testing the business processes. So we're going to start looking at, not just talking about it and looking at a process flow. We're actually going to start looking at the system, walking through, looking at what best business practice process means, and start going in through that. We're going to start using IPC data, and what that means is, instead of having dummy data, we're going to leverage existing data and start showing you with your data. It'll make it a lot more easier to understand and to walk through when we're looking at business processes. In January, we start the explore phase, which is the bigger phase. We're going to start reviewing best business practice processes. We'll confirm our scope. Any gaps or anything that we identify in there, then this is where we'll look at those. And then we're going to continue working fit to standards. So again, I can't stress enough that in this project, we're not looking at it from a how do we make the system work for you. We're going to look at the system is already set up this way. Why can't we make that process work out of the box? We're going to continue working on master data, products, customers, vendor, and the bill of material. Here's an example of SAP Fiori Analytics. So for those of you who are not familiar with Fiori, it's really a user experience that's similar to an app on your iPhone. It uses tiles, and it allows you to see analytics. It allows you to see transactions. It allows you to see real-time KPIs and things like that on the fly. And in this is an example of it. It works on any device. So the beauty of it is it can work on a laptop. It can work on iPad, a mobile device, anything. Here's another example. These are KPIs. Here's some metrics, you know, so as Curtis said earlier, if we're looking at sales, we can see how many open sales orders we have. If we're in purchasing, we can see how many purchase requisitions are open and haven't been converted. So that way we can clean our house and make sure that we're not leaving things open and bringing over and just leaving data sitting out there.
So again, just to reemphasize, March 31st is the day that we're planning on going live, and that's going to be the first day of fiscal year 2026, right? Yeah, 2026. And then we're going to have hypercare, and what hypercare is that we'll have people around all the facilities assisting where there needs to be help, consultants across all 3 facilities. Yeah, this has been a long journey for us to get here. There's been a lot of people and a lot of work involved in this. We're very excited. I've seen that excitement from the plants to head into this. And our goal is to be as open and transparent as possible with everybody and the communication live. And hopefully this moves to the next slide here pretty quick. Huh? No. But on this contact information, myself, Brenda, who not everybody's knows Brenda yet, but she's a SAP project lead. And then Jeff, who you just introduced. If you have questions, you know, we need to communicate to you, but I need you guys to communicate to us. If there's a misunderstanding, if there's a question that you have, please bring it to our attention. We will get that answer for you. We are having a deeper dive later today with our VPs and our BPOs, and then we will be scheduling meetings with all of our BPOs and SMEs once the consultants come on board. And, you know, we're just really excited to get this going. We know it's going to be a good system for our company. And so with that, I thank you for joining today's meeting and our kickoff. And 17 months from now, we're going to go live with SAP. So thank you very much.